Welcome. Chase from MySwing Golf. Chuck and I today are going to have a conversation with you about biofeedback. We're going to talk about what biofeedback is, how do you make money with it, and how do you use it in your everyday teaching. Chuck, what's biofeedback?
Well, biofeedback is basically it's either auditory or it's a color change, visual. And MySwing Pro, we actually have both. So you can hear the tone and you can see the color change. But what biofeedback really is it allows a person to visually and to hear changes that they're trying to make in whatever motion they're doing. So it's through repetitive motion and watching these changes, watching the colors and hearing the sound, that helps integrate and ingrain into the player what you're trying to get them to do.
So tell me how you as an instructor can make money with biofeedback.
Well, so a couple of different ways. Number one, you can use this with MySwing Pro. You can also use it with the MySwing Trainer. And you can rent this out. So let's say you have a student, you give them a profile, you've decided their profile, and let's say that in their training, when you did their initial assessment, that you're only getting 40 to 45 degrees of rib cage and you want them to get 80 to 90 degrees. So you can set that in the parameters because the parameters are set based on tour averages, and we all know that there are players that are not going to be in those averages.
Sure.
That are just going to stripe it, you know.
Right.
So, but let's say it's affecting their golf swing. So you might set that parameter to 90, 95, who knows.
Right.
But as they do that, now when they come in for training, you only need 4 or 5 students a week to do this with. So if you had 5 students, and the normal rate from what we're hearing is about $30 a half hour.
Sure.
So they come in, you get them set up for their training, and as they're watching themselves, it's more like a game to them. It's like a challenge because they're seeing themselves making their old move and nothing's going on.
Sure.
So when they make their new move, all of a sudden, you know, they hear the tone, they see the color change,
right.
You know. So it's a challenge for them to quit doing what they've been doing and to try to do something new. You know, for example, I mean, if we just cross our arms like this and we say, all right, let's try to turn our rib cage to the right, we can see because our lower body is still that this isn't going to go very far.
Sure.
Right, and that's old man disease. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Father time.
So
right.
what we have to do is this time when we do this, let's release our left side off the chair and feel ourselves move over. You can see how much more rib cage rotation you can
sure.
get. So you give them the drill, whatever drill it is to get them to do that,
right.
and then you have them practice on the biofeedback training. So if you have 5 people a week and you're charging them $30, you know, a half hour, that's $150 a week, $600 a month.
Right.
So you're not going to get rich,
sure.
you know, having
right.
people use your biofeedback training,
right.
but it's an extra $500-600 a month that you didn't have.
Sure, car payment, groceries, whatever it is, right? Well, and the other thing too, I think your students will treat this almost similar to like Pavlov's dog, right? They don't want to fail, they want to succeed. So every time they hit that range, they hear that beep, positive reinforcement, they're going to want to hit it again and continue to get better to succeed.
Right, and what biofeedback training does as well is it accelerates the learning process,
right.
all right? And they retain what they're doing a much longer time than just trying to walk them through what you want them to do.
Right, so they learn faster, right? And it also probably sticks a little bit longer too, rather than getting in there and forcing them into the positions you want.
Right, and sometimes you do have to force them, but
sure.
you know, like for instance, going back to the biofeedback training, if they're not really getting what you want them to do, it's okay to step in there and move them a little bit, so they can then, you know, hear the tone, see the color, and then they can actually feel what it feels, you know, the feeling to get that far over there.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
And again, live full body biofeedback can see both visual and audio tones, and also you're not always stuck with the PGA Tour ranges. You can set the ranges to whatever you want.
Right, and the good thing about the MySwing biofeedback is it's full body and it's live.
Right.
Right.
No delay.
And no delays. So, you know, that's the only system out there that does that.
Sure. Some other systems might give just numbers, but you can see the visual effect right away. Pretty powerful.
Right.
Thanks, Chuck. Again, biofeedback with the MySwing Pro system.